back to Reimagine Leadership, Unlocking Human Potential and Organizational Brilliance. I'm Dr. Carol Talbot, and in this episode, we're diving into something extraordinary, the very blueprint of who you are. Have you ever felt like you have untapped potential? Like there's more to you than what you've been conditioned to believe? And what if the key to unlocking greater intelligence, innovation, and leadership excellence isn't just in your habits, mindset, or experience? It's encoded within you at the deepest level, your DNA. You see, your DNA isn't just a biological instruction manual. It's a living, dynamic system, one that's constantly responding to your thoughts, emotions, and environment. It holds the potential for greater resilience, greater intelligence, and adaptability, qualities that define exceptional leadership. In this episode, we'll explore how your DNA operates like an intricate symphony of possibility, how scientific research reveals its responsiveness to both perception and belief, and how you can harness its power to become an even more effective leader. I'm going to break this down through real-life stories, research, as well as practical tools that you can apply right away. So let's begin. Your DNA is not a rigid, predetermined code dictating who you are. Instead, it's fluid, adaptable, and influenced by more than just genetics. Scientists now understand that DNA is not merely a biological structure. It has an energetic presence, responding to external stimuli, including your thoughts, emotions, and even the energy around you. One of the most fascinating studies on this was conducted in the 1990s by Russian scientist Dr. Vladimir Poponin, who explored what happens to light particles, photons, when placed near human DNA. In a vacuum chamber, researchers introduced DNA samples and observed how the photons, the smallest units of light, moved. Before the DNA was placed inside, the photons were scattered randomly, as expected. However, once the DNA was introduced, the photons arranged themselves into an organized and structured pattern, as if the DNA were influencing them. Now, this was already a groundbreaking discovery, and what happened next was even more astonishing. Because when the DNA was removed, the photons remained in their organized pattern, as though the DNA had left behind an imprint. So what does this mean for you as a leader? Well, this phenomenon, now known as the phantom DNA effect, suggests that DNA doesn't just operate at the level of physical biology, it has an influence beyond its physical form. In other words, it interacts with the surrounding environment, leaving an energetic imprint. So think of your DNA as a tuning fork. It vibrates at a frequency that influences not only your body, it influences your surroundings as well. So what kind of environment are you creating for yourself, and what kind of imprint are you leaving behind in your leadership? So consider, what signals are you tuning into? Are you aligning with clarity, insight, and innovation? Or are you allowing stress, fear, and external pressures to dictate your reality? Your DNA isn't just a static structure. It's an intelligent system responding to the energy that you project. Let's take this one step further. Now, if your DNA is like an antenna, picking up signals from your beliefs, your thoughts, your environment, then your conscious awareness is the conductor of that orchestra. And this brings me round to the power of perception and Dr. Ellen Langer's experiment. So, a remarkable study by Harvard psychologist Dr. Ellen Langer, known as the counterclockwise study, demonstrates just how powerful perception is in shaping biological reality. And in this study, a group of elderly men were placed in an environment that replicated the world of their youth, including the music, newspapers, and conversations of the 1950s. They were also encouraged to see themselves not as old men reminiscing, but as their younger selves actually living in that time. And the results from this study? Well, their posture improved, their grip strength increased, their memory sharpened, even their vision and hearing showed measurable improvements. Essentially, their bodies responded as though they'd actually reversed time. So in terms of leadership, this experiment proves that your biology, including your DNA, is shaped by your perception of reality. If a shift in perception can reverse aspects of aging, imagine what it could do for leadership resilience, energy levels, and cognitive function. So are you seeing yourself as limited by past failures or external circumstances? Or are you stepping into the potential of a leader who's constantly evolving? So I encourage you to reflect on what outdated perceptions or beliefs might be keeping parts of your potential asleep. Where in your leadership are you holding on to limiting stories? So now you know your DNA responds to belief. The way you perceive yourself as a leader shapes how your body and mind function. If your DNA responds to belief, then that means every choice you make sends a signal to it, influencing what becomes active and what remains dormant. Now, you've probably had moments in your life where one decision changed everything. Maybe a new job, a shift in mindset, or even a book you read that altered the course of your thinking. And what if you could access the wisdom of all the choices you didn't make? This brings us to the concept of probable selves, which suggests that every time you make a decision, alternative versions of yourself exist in different timelines, living out different possibilities. Let me share a story inspired by Blake Crouch's book, Dark Matter. The protagonist, Jason Dessen, stumbles into alternate timelines, meeting versions of himself who made different choices. So one version is wildly successful, but lonely. Another lives modestly and is deeply fulfilled. Now, this isn't just sci-fi, it's not just science fiction. It's a powerful metaphor for the choices you're making every single day. Because by imagining yourself in the shoes of a version of you who's already achieved what you desire, you can gain powerful insights and accelerate your decision making. So just for a moment, consider if you could meet a version of yourself who's already achieved your greatest leadership goals. What advice would they give you? Remember, every decision creates a ripple effect. Leadership is about choosing timelines that align with both vision and integrity. So let me share with you 3 actionable steps to enhance your leadership potential by working with your DNA. So the first one is intentional visualization. Remember to take a few minutes each day to visualize your DNA as a glowing, activated blueprint, responding to clarity and high-level thinking. Number 2, environmental alignment. Surround yourself with people, with ideas and environments that uplift and inspire. The more aligned your surroundings, the stronger the signals your DNA receives. And number 3, conscious questioning. Ask yourself daily, am I leading from reaction or am I leading from intention? Am I responding to the highest vision of myself? So let's do a quick exercise. Right now, take a deep breath and ask yourself, What's one belief or habit I'm ready to release in order to unlock more of my leadership potential? Write it down and make a commitment to shift it. So remember, your DNA is not just a biological structure, it's a leadership blueprint responding to every thought, every belief, and every choice you make. The best leaders aren't just those who work harder. They're those who understand the deeper nature of human potential and learn to harness it effectively. Tune in for the next episode where I'll dive deeper into how leadership and consciousness shape the future of organizations. And if today's episode resonated with you, then please go ahead, share it with your team, leave a review, and join me again as we continue to reimagine leadership. Until next time, remember, you're always more than you think you are.